Pretty ladies, handsome gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening. Today we are privileged to be here together to witness the wedding ceremony of Jonathan and Sherilyn. And we're actually quite privileged because we have people from all over the world. We have guests from the States, we also have guests from Australia, relatives from Singapore, and also Johor, and of course, most of us from Kuala Lumpur. Therefore, today is indeed a very special day, and we are honored to have your presence here today to celebrate this auspicious occasion. Therefore, to herald the start of this wedding ceremony, let us have the entrance of the shofar blowers. Ladies and gentlemen, now please put your hands together to help me welcome the conductor of today's ceremony, the one and only, special, sweet, some say sexy, Miss Sherilyn James, to be on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, today, a celebration of joy, a day where we rejoice. Now we are going to herald in the group. Ladies and gentlemen, the man walking down the aisle is the groom, Mr. Jonathan, accompanied by his parents.
Blessed is he that comes in the name of Yahuwah. We bless you out of the house of Yahuwah. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before Yahuwah, our Maker. Serve Yahuwah with joy. Come before him with exulting.
A celebration of two people coming together right before you, ladies and gentlemen, described as the biggest day of her life. Can we all raise, yes, raise, and help me welcome the entrance of the bride. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the lady walking down the aisle is none other than Miss Sherilyn Yap. Accompanying her walking up the stage is her proud parent. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can now proceed to sit while our conductor conducts the ceremony.
Shout for joy to Yahuwah, for all the peoples of the earth. Serve Yahuwah with joy. Come before his presence with singing. Know that Yahuwah, he is God. It is he that has made us and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be full of thanksgiving for him and bless his name. For Yahuwah is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endures to all generations. Amen.
He who is mighty, blessed and great above all things. May he bless the bridegroom, Jonathan, and the bride, Sherilyn.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The bride and the groom and their families would like to thank all of you, the wedding guests, for attending the wedding celebration on this Friday evening. I'm sure you all must have encountered a lot of traffic jam, and it is really a feat for all of you to be present at this time. So now you all would have noticed a wedding canopy called huppah, which is an important part of the wedding ceremony. This constitutes a spiritual covering for the couple to be married. And a lot of you may be surprised to look at this thing, this thing called canopy or huppah. Why do they need to be married under a huppah? Let me now explain to you so that it will become clear. Because a canopy or a huppah is a legal instrument. But the fact that only this canopy remains or survived makes a statement to the couple here. Number A, it teaches that this simple, fragile roof, which is now common to both partners, launches the marriage, for it teaches them, number one, to live content with small means. Number two, to seek elegance rather than luxury. Number three, and refinement rather than fashion. Number four, to be worthy, not respectable, and wealthy, not rich. Because that's the difference between being wealthy and being rich. Being rich is being very, very wealthy. Okay? And now B, it affirms the teaching that the huppah sets the couple apart, as you can see now, from the crowds. Marriage is the establishment of a home, an island of sanity and serenity, far from the maddening crowd. So usually the huppah, it is out under the open skies, and the reason for it is to recall God's blessing to Abraham, that his seed be as numerous as the stars. Furthermore, a huppah held under the open heavens symbolizes the couple's resolve to establish a household which will be dominated by heavenly and spiritual ideals rather than the pursuit of worldly accomplishments and physical wealth. Such a marriage is a conduit for an abundance of heavenly blessings. And the ketel, normally worn by the bridegroom, it is worn on Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, and it is a symbol of God's atonement and total purity. In almost every case, the bride and the groom on the wedding day, they are much too busy running around, scuttling around all day, trying to accomplish everything done in a short time, and they really do not have time to eat. And I'm sure all of you who are married people now, you must have experienced the same thing on your wedding day. Am I right? Did all of you have enough to eat on your wedding day during the daytime? Obviously not, right? So, this constitutes a day's fast. You got no choice, because of all the running around. Therefore, the wedding day is a minor Yom Kippur for the bride and the groom, a day when they fast and they are forgiven for all their sins. And this is also the reason why the white gown is worn by the bride. So, I wonder whether you all noticed earlier when the bride stood down there and the bridegroom came to meet up with her, and how he unveiled her bridal veil. And that is a reason for it. Did y'all notice that the groom sort of lifted up her bridal veil? You all noticed, right? There is a reason for it. And this is because traditionally, the bridegrooms are to look upon the faces of their brides before the wedding ceremony to ensure they are getting the women they love and not be deceived or cheated, as in the case of Jacob in the Bible. Jacob worked for his uncle for 7 years to get the woman he loved, called Rachel. And what happens on the wedding night? After the consummation, next morning, when his eyes were open and it was daylight, he saw that he has been cheated by his father-in-law Laban. The woman he got was the eldest sister, Leah. So, there goes the tradition of unveiling the bride, just to make sure, So, once the bridegroom has seen the bride's face, and he will actually place the veil over her. When the bride is veiled, the ceremony is about to begin. So, do y'all ever wonder, what does it mean to get married? I mean, when y'all tie the knot, did y'all ever wonder what was going to happen? How would married life be? Well, let me tell you. Getting married in our faith means to enter into a marriage covenant. And this is called a ketubah in Hebrew, which is made between the bridegroom and the bride, just as the Bible itself is a marriage covenant between Yeshua and his believers. As God says, I will betroth you or take you as a bride to me forever. Yes, I will betroth you or take you as a bride to me in righteousness, in justice, in grace, loving commitment, and in compassion. and I will betroth or take you as a bride to me in faithfulness, trustworthiness, and you will know that I am your God. So God was the one who ordained marriage, and He established it and its divine sanctity in the very first book of the Bible when He brought Adam and Eve together to become one flesh. Did you know that Eve was made from a rib taken from Adam when God put him to sleep? How many of you know that? How many? I wonder how many hands would go up. So God brought Eve to Adam. Notice that God brought the bride to the bridegroom. That was why the bride came later just now. And when he was awakened, he addressed her as the bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called Isha. In Hebrew means woman, because she was taken out of Ish, a Hebrew word for man. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and shall cleave and be joined to his wife. So the two shall become together as one flesh. Being made from Adam's rib, I mean, if your men go back tonight and check, your left rib and see whether one is missing, then you will know that Eve is made from under Adam's arm. That's the reason why men always feel very protective, right, towards the wife. So Jonathan will have to protect her all the days of their lives together. Do you all agree? Okay, good. So now I will do the three blessings and said, "Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, King of the universe, who create the fruit of the vine. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, King of the universe, who have sanctified us by your commandments and has given us command concerning forbidden marriages, who have disallowed unto us those that are already betrothed, but have sanctioned unto us such as are wedded to us by the right of the huppah or canopy and the sacred covenant of wedlock." Okay, so let me elaborate on the biblical wedding, and this is what we are aspiring to do. So first of all, the bride will have to be selected by the bridegroom and his father. This is to help all of you understand what is taking place here this evening. So, number one, when the groom has selected the bride and the bride price is established, maybe that's why we Chinese have to pay a dowry to the bride. Yes? Is that true? Is that true? All Chinese men, when you're getting married, do you not pay or negotiate for a dowry? And then the bride will in return give you a trousseau. Okay. So, the next step, when the groom has selected the bride and the bride price is established, betrothal is the next step when the bride accepts the groom. That's why nowadays we have got this thing called engagement. Then you have a marriage covenant or betrothal contract called ketubah that is drawn up, which states the bride price, the promises of the groom, and the rights of the bride. So there's no shirking, so you know your respective roles as bride and groom, husband and wife. The groom promises to love and cherish her, work for her, to honor, support and maintain her in truth, to provide food, clothing and necessities, and to live together as husband and wife. The bride on her part is to subject herself to her husband, for he is the head of the wife, as our Messiah is head of the church and Yeshua is our Savior. But nowadays, on one income, which family could survive? So therefore, it's the double income factor that will help to keep afloat the couple's finances. Is that true? Both husband and wife now have to work. Very few will have wives staying at home. Yeah, if you want a good lifestyle, that is. Okay, so number 3, the bride gives her consent to the betrothal made in the marriage covenant. And now, may the wedding couple approach the table that is at the back to sign the ketubah in the presence of all the guests. The signing is complete. The signing of the ketubah seals the marriage covenant or betrothal contract. The ketubah will then be brought home and be framed at a later time to remind the bride and the groom, especially when they're having conflicts, of their respective roles as husband and wife, and to help them to establish a good, strong and solid foundation to their marriage. So, after they have signed the ketubah and sealed the betrothal contract, we now have a ring of value. Now, we will ask the bridegroom, Jonathan, to place the ring upon the forefinger. Notice, it's not on the third finger of the left hand, but it is on the forefinger of the right hand of the bride. And Jonathan said,
Behold, Sherilyn Yap Ying, you are consecrated to me, Jonathan Quack, by this ring, according to Torah of Moses and Israel.
So, now put it on and put it on. Yes. So, she accepts it. This completes the betrothal rite called sanctification. And this is followed by a cup. This is followed by a cup shared and sealed between the bride and groom with the drinking of wine. In doing this, the couple drinks from a common cup. So, I will give it first, give it to John, give it to the groom, and he will sip. Take your time to sip, yes. Then it's your turn to sit there. And then given to the bride. This cup is known as the cup of the covenant. And now, Jonathan, the talith, open it up. And together, cover your faces. Yes. This is called the talith. The talith is the prayer shawl, and it means that the couple's heads being briefly covered signify they are now one flesh, spiritually concerned. Okay? Did you all get the message? Understood? Okay. Now, the ketubah is being read out by the groom, Jonathan, and the bride, Sherilyn, as they read their respective parts. This is to let you all know what transpired or what has been written down in the ketubah to give you all more understanding, okay?
May Yahuwah bless our union with the marriage ceremony held this day on 7 July 2017 between us, Jonathan Quack and Sherilyn Yap. Okay. As we embark on life's journey, we promise to love, cherish, encourage, and inspire one another. Let our hearts be fused together to create a unique bond with friendship and compassion at its core. That through this union in Yeshua, we vow to value and support each other, always striving to show sensitivity to each other's needs. We shall nurture one another emotionally, intellectually, and above all, spiritually as we serve Adonai Yeshua, always being mindful of our respective qualities and strengths.
May Yahuwah blind us to grow together, maintaining the courage and determination to pursue our desired path.
We both promise to celebrate life's joys with grace and overcome life's adversities with tenacity. May we both maintain the intimacy that fosters trust, honesty, and communication. As life partners, we shall both strive to build a home emanating love, peace, tolerance, and charity. Through each other's eyes, we see the world anew. May we be made better together as the cup of the marriage covenant binds us in validity this day. Thank you.
Well, did you all appreciate that? Did you appreciate what was written down? Okay, I will now bless God with the following 7 benedictions. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, King of the universe, who have created all things to your glory. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, King of the universe, creator of men. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, King of the universe, who have made man in your image, after your likeness, and have prepared unto him out of his very self a perpetual fabric. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, creator of man. May she who was barren be exceedingly glad and exult when the children are gathered within her in joy. Blessed are you, O Yahuwah, who make Zion joyful through her children.
Make these loved companions greatly to rejoice, even as the old you did gladden your creature in the Garden of Eden.
Blessed are you, O Yahuwah our God, King of the universe, who have created joy and gladness, bridegroom and bride, mirth and exaltation, pleasure and delight, love, brotherhood, peace and fellowship. Soon may there be heard in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem the voice of joy and gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the jubilant voice of the bridegrooms from their chuppah or canopies, and of youth from their feasts of song.
Blessed
Are you, O Yahuwah, who makes the bridegroom to rejoice with the bride. And
Now the conductor, Miss Sherilyn, shall raise the glass that is to be wrapped up and to be smashed.
Yep. So this is the glass that I'm going to wrap up in a white linen cloth, and then Jonathan will step on it, and it will be to signify, like even in our greatest joy, we got to remember that certain tragedies in life. So, so Jonathan, the bridegroom, 1, 2, 3, smash with all your might. Yes, well done. So So now that it is done, let all the people present here, all the wonderful guests, shout with all of us here to say 3 times, Mazel Tov. Again, Mazel Tov. Again, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov means good luck, good fortune. Okay?
Alright, with the sanction of those presents, we will bless our God and
Bless, with the sanction of those present, who will bless our God, in whose abode is joy.
in whose abode is joy and whose bounty we are going to partake. The ceremony is now over and the wedding reception of buffet and dinner commence and is immediately available. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all of you.
We shall proceed down first. Ladies and gentlemen, in the lady's life, there's 3 important men. The first one, I think you can guess, is her father, correct? The second most important man is the man she's going to be married with, which is Jonathan. The third most important man is the man who's going to host her big day, her wedding day, which is me. Stress. Okay, the name is Eric, and I'm your master of ceremony for today. And tonight is going to be a very fun night. We have a lot of program arranged for all of you today. Therefore, I need all of you to sit back, relax, and tonight you are going to dance till you drop. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, have you noticed today's date? 7717. Correct? Okay, in Cantonese it's called Chai Chai Yat Chai. Agree or not? So I need all of you to Chai Chai Yat Chai. Give yourself a round of applause. Why do I say so? They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. A journey to today's venue, Tropicana Golf and Country Resort, began with traffic jam. So, to show our appreciation for your attendance, let us begin the Battle of the Jaws. But first, can I have all the ladies and kids to stand? Ladies and kids, can you just stand? The men, please remain seated. Okay, kids and ladies stand, men remain seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the dinner is served. Ladies and kids first.